Welcome to the Blackwater Cantina, where we are just talking Warmachine and nothing but Warmachine, really. We have a packed episode today. I'm Mike.
I'm Maz.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm new.
Welcome,
We've acquired
Robin.
a third talking head.
We found him in the back of the cupboard.
Ah, this is a scary place to be.
Stop living in walls.
I can't help it. Oh.
Now all I can think of is the Trapped in the Closet series on YouTube.
Anyway, let's get off that subject and find out more about Robin, eh?
Cool.
Cool. So, I'm Robin. I'm 33. I've been playing war games since about 2012. I've recently just been made TT Combat representative for Dorset, so yay me. It means a lot more work for the demos I do. I also run the Dorset Malifaux community, as I've just recently found out as well. So I just thought I'd jump off from there, going, yeah.
And now getting involved in
Warmachine Mark 4.
I will say Robin's Malifaux tournaments are fun, even though he does put you against people.
At one time I put you against Joe, and you won't stop bitching about it. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys remember in Yeovil a shop called Witch Engine, which is where I kind of got into Warmachine.
I have heard many things about it.
So when you walk through, so this was at quite a dark time in my life. I was like just walking down the street and I just saw the shop and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna pop in there. And you walk through the front door and it's like, I think it was like a small section of Warhammer on like the right hand side of the shop, but from the door to the counter on the left side was wall to wall Warmachine. So there was like a massive section for Kador, massive sections for Signar, Crix, Retributor, and I can't remember any more of the Grimkin, I think, as well at the time, because it was all second edition.
That was before Grimkin, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm mistaken. I'm just pulling names out of my backside at the moment. So, things I can remember. 2012 was a long time ago, but yeah. So I picked up the Signar and Crix starter sets from there on that day with the paint sets to go with them. I still have those paints. Those models, I believe, are actually with Dan.
Probably.
Yeah, he bought them off of me when that third edition had come out. I'm not showing the pictures for those models because they are horrendous and they will never see the light of day, and I still have them. I got back into Warmachine. I actually kind of pinched one of Mike's models. It was the Wretch for the Crix, and I was like, I made it all fancy and smart and gave it back to him, painting in his exact same style that he
painted up one of my bone jacks, my Death Ripper.
That's the one.
I haven't touched it. It is still in your paint scheme. It is in my Mark III Crix case.
That's perfect. And I know Mike kind of got all excited for Warmachine Mark 4, and he brought to me, I was in the middle of a game which I had to stop playing because he was showing me all of his nice new 3D printed Crix Kickstarter models that came out. I believe it was the
that one.
That was that box, and it was also the
I think at that
box.
point it was the battle group and the box with Nekane.
Yeah, that was it, 'cause you nearly lost your bone jacks that night because I was going to just misplace them, knock them off the table into my bag type thing. But
yeah.
I'm resisting. That is still an. Well, I've only opened that box to put the 3D printed Hive Mind Cadre in the empty section. So, but they have to stay there, and I'm doing Grimkin.
yes.
You're behaving, Maz. You are doing very well.
I know.
So
well, I'm just impressed with myself that I've managed to paint all my Kador units, and now going on to the Brine
Brine Bloods.
Yeah, Brine Bloods.
That's such an awkward name to say.
Bright Blood Marauders is their
Especially if
name.
you try and say it in a pirate accent.
Oh, yeah, there's no fucking chance.
Yeah, but Robin,
Not
if you
enough force in me.
like next time you rock up to play him, you got to dress in like full pirate kit. I won't expect
No.
anything less.
No, there's not enough rub on the planet for that for me. But no, as you mentioned in your, I think it was your first or second video, can we please stop shooting my dire dirigibles out of the sky? They won't hurt you. They only give me extra range to shoot you with my cannons and everything else that I have guns with.
As of hopefully the 15th of May, I will have a way of knocking them out of the sky without killing them.
No, Maz found the perfect thing to know. It's like, I'm just going to make them not do that anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Just take them out, it's fine.
I think it was when you read their rules as well. You were like, oh yeah, they do this. Yep, they don't do that anymore.
You can stop that. Yeah.
Yeah, Maz has a tendency to say stuff like that. Then do it.
What can I say? I'm all about the surgical tools being applied to things.
Your cephalix is showing.
I've still got a bunch of goblet drudges. I found them the other day.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I've not my only unpainted cephalix now because I've got the hive mind country.
Nice. I still have a lot of my... Yeah, I have a lot of Bright Bloods to paint. And I have done everything else. And I'm so proud of myself for actually getting on and painting stuff.
Yeah.
We are all very proud of you, Robin.
It also helps that my partner said to me that you have to paint everything you own before you buy new things, so it is a very good incentive.
Actually, I don't think Maura could ever say that to me because, to be fair, she's doing really well at painting her stuff. She's bought into a different game that shall not be named and got more excited, but she's painting like whole sets of stuff. She's doing really well actually. So.
That's right. There's a box coming out soon for that I'll be getting anyway. So.
Yes. But speaking of things that we have recently acquired, Myminifactory and #1 Tribe.
Hell yes, absolutely loving it.
Warmachine Digital. So not only did I get new cephalix, which is the best thing ever. They have not yet gone back into dark operations, but they will. So I'm going to be practicing with some dark operations to take to the Welsh Masters because
That is your favourite thing.
a sucker for punishment, apparently.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. But yeah, just so we've had 2 months worth of stuff released. We've got the Crix terrain, and we're starting to get the Gravedigger terrain now as well.
Sorry, I'm just looking at it on my phone. I've just seen the Mine Facility terrain set on there.
Yeah, I'm trying to talking to our friend who does my 3D printing for me because my printer is out of action to see how we go about printing that giant machine because that mining machine is very cool.
Yeah,
it
looks amazing. I mean, I've had a friend of mine was very lovely and 3D printed me some of the bits from the Crix terrain set, which I will say went together very well.
Oh, was that the Soul Garden terrain set?
It was whatever they decided to call it. It might have been Soul Garden.
I've got it in front of me. I know it's Soul Garden, so
there you go. I've only had him build print the buildings so far. They came out amazing. So we will have very pretty tables if we ever get round to having events in the local area.
Well, let's hope so. We've got a nice big store in the area. We've got 2 stores in the area. One of them is significantly larger than the other. Has a nice big gaming space.
Recently just gotten bigger. I don't know if you guys heard the news.
It will be. They are just moving very soon.
They've sorted that. I knew they were intending on moving, but
yes, it's been all officialised now. They've been painting it for the last 3 weeks and sorting out shelf spaces.
Yeah, one of the guy who helps me out with other games I run down there for them. I was talking to him today, and he's basically spending all of his time in there now, preparing it ready for when we get our grubby mitts on it.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be nice. Get down there and try and run some tournaments. I know the intention is for us all to get together of a weekend coming up soon to play a whole bunch of games with the journeyman that we've been.
That is not this weekend, but the weekend afterwards, the 18th.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I will have to get Aaron on video so he feels part of it. He's in Plymouth.
We'll have him on video chat on the end of one of the other tables, just so.
Yeah, and then when we've had enough of him, we'll just put him face down.
That's it. We'll all just freeze in one place and just make him.
Oh, that will just mess with him, especially if people are moving around us.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's gonna be nice having, hopefully, some nice terrain available for us as well, so we can start building up a few more bits and
Absolutely.
pieces.
Going back to the Cephalix talk, with the app, we have that lovely, if you pay the full year, after 3 months you get given a little guy with his big buddy.
I was gonna say with a big guy.
Little guy with a big guy.
Yeah, £59 for the year, and you get the plus extras. It said. I don't know what extras were, but
We don't
Hey.
know what that means yet.
Stuff. We get more stuff and things. We're looking
yeah,
forward
that's
to it.
very, very true. I'm very much looking for the reprints that they said they were going to do a while back.
I really want. I'm desperate to find Morton Everett 2. Not to run in a game, but to put into a D&D game, so I can put terror into a party.
See, yeah, I mean, we mentioned this before when we were talking about Morton Ebra, that Morton Ebra 2 just, I don't know, she just doesn't do anything that's exciting enough. It's not more exciting than Thexus and Siphon. I don't know, just very slightly different to Siphon, but
Yeah.
Siphon does it better.
So yeah, I had a similar situation with the Brown Bloods. Ragemonger, I love the model, but the only reason I wanted him is just for his feat to use once, which is jump the shark.
I mean, jumping sharks.
All it does is a reposition, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but it just sounds really dumb, and I was like, I want to do it, but he does nothing to buff the rest of the army. It's like, that's sad times.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But he is, well, I don't know. Fluff-wise, I think he's my second favourite of the Brine Blood casters. Foul Bloods,
Yeah.
just being a complete moron, it is glorious.
I mean, we do love a big dumb idiot.
That's why we love you, Mike.
Yep.
We love you.
That's why you keep me around.
So yeah, Hive Mind Cadra. So
Yeah,
everyone's gonna
I mean,
have
that's what I'm playing with for our little journeyman.
it. Yeah,
Nice.
I think
I haven't done anything with Cephalix before now, but I am apparently now.
so, and that Kython is certainly interesting, but the Malfesser is a lot of fun. It's like all three of the monstrosities
Yeah.
merged into one with a little dude strapped to the back as well.
So, what happens if we put this bit and this bit and this bit all together? Oh.
Have you painted any of yours yet, Mike?
Yep, you've seen them. I posted them up on the group chat. I'm sure we'll get photos of them, like, here or something.
I was going to say, what day did you post them? Because don't forget, I have been working at a festival this weekend, so...
It seems like a skill issue, Robin. I think I posted them actually at the end of the month. So you have
That would have been Thursday. Wednesday last week.
They are in our
Oh yeah, I had
Family
the
friendly, always family friendly group chat.
Exactly.
yes, I did clean it up the other day, describing certain people. Oh yeah, you have. They're not painted. Oh yes, they are. Sorry.
Yeah, see.
I am actually quite impressed, Mike, that you have not broken or snapped any of those very, very fine, detailed bits.
Yep.
There's some spindly old arms going on.
I mean, they're cephalics. They don't use their arms,
That's it.
apart from occasionally doing surgery.
I'm trying to. I've got a couple of backup ones as well. A friend of
That's
mine
it.
who's doing my printing for me has just upgraded to some fancy 8K resin and a nice new Mars 5. So he's been printing off some really nice looking ones for me.
Very nice. No, I've always described the cephalics as surgeons who got so germophobic they learnt how to levitate.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're definitely. I mean, the fact that they play with such a nice surgical style as well makes me happy.
Yeah.
I've not gone too much into Kythos yet. Don't want to get too excited about her. I think she's a her, isn't she?
I'm not sure. I'm going to go with them.
Yep.
I've just got the stats in front of me. They are actually really good. I'm not liking that force barrier on there. +2 extra defense.
Yeah, defense 17 against ranged. It's nice.
And resistance against blast.
Mm.
I miss my force barrier.
That kind of makes my Brian Bloods a bit nil put.
Pointing towards my colossals from Rat.
They're mostly blocked by your mic shield, to be fair.
They are mostly blocked by me. But they are all the way over here.
Happy looking fellows.
Happy little fellows with their big mittens.
No. I'm very intrigued to see what the Cephalix Super Heavy is going to look like as well.
I'm interested into what the Crick Super Heavy is going to be like, because the way it's described in the book, the lore they did, it sounds immense and fun.
I reckon I can one-shot it with Bjorn.
It's just how you work, isn't it? Can't kill it in one shot.
I did the same with against both of you, so I'm really happy with that. So
It's good. Good. So I don't know whether anyone else clocked that when the Silexus files for the Hivemind were originally dropped, they were all Dr. Stygius too.
Yep.
Somebody changed their mind about that.
No, he just changed his name, that's all it was.
Well, it's not like anyone would recognise him anyway. So.
Exactly. Yeah, he decided he didn't want the bad press.
To be fair, the top two arms are exactly the same as the old Dr. Stygius model, so... But he's cool, he's nice. I'm looking forward to dropping him into an army and just having the veteran leader on drudges, because I like to run a lot of drudges, and it's partially because I don't own any of the mercenary units. All of the mercenary units that I actually have are now not available, so...
I keep meaning to have a look through what they can take and let you know what I've got, but I keep forgetting.
Yeah. Fine, I'm holding out hope that we got the monstrosities as STLs, so maybe we'll get the mercenary units as well.
Yeah, but I'm hoping that we get more Tenebra, so...
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I'm hoping for more Crucible Guard.
I think. Well, to be fair, they were on the full factions, so when they did the Adepticon keynote, they know that full factions were going to get re-released, and Crucible Guard were one of those. So
yeah.
Probably not going to be in part of the digital subscription, but they are coming.
Yeah.
So you will be able to
The
get
war
them.
crimes are coming.
Yes, they are.
Yes, this faction does things that Crix won't do.
Yep.
And then people are like, yeah, they're good guys.
I mean, Dan will be happy because he's got them. So
Yeah, I think I saw Dan's Crucible Guard when you guys were playing a game before I actually got back into playing Warmachine,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I kind of, because I think they came about just as I was leaving. They were teased just as I was leaving.
Yeah,
yeah, he likes his trains, does our Dan.
he does.
Oh, poor buddy.
Yeah, lots coming from the tribe. Lots of interesting stuff. Lots of nice new terrain. Which I have to figure out how to print, and then when the building works are finished, I'll have a big enough space that I can actually have proper terrain.
I was going to say, I hope they do Cador terrain or have other trains for different factions, because at the moment the mining facility and the Crix terrain.
Yeah, so the welcome pack is all the Crix terrain. Then
Then
the
the other
first 3
part of
months
that was there was the trenches and bits in the other part of the first month.
Mm.
Now they've given us a bunch of mining stuff.
So we're going to get 1 more month worth of Signar Gravediggery things,
Yeah.
and then it's going to switch on to a nice segue into Old Umbrey.
I'm very much looking forward to
Absolutely.
Old Umbrey.
I want these so bad.
Spooky Cador.
You know I love me the old witch.
Yes.
Got me into my Grimkin. I've still got the mini. I rebuilt the mini because I had to put a bigger house on it.
Of course.
Of course, because she had to live in it.
Well, that's it. I don't know whether we haven't had a lot more information.
From the trailer, I do love the fact that we're getting I think it's a mixture of some of the older Grimkin models in there, because it looks like you got a couple of the skin. I can't remember what they're called now. Skinnerman.
I'm going to have to look at some images from that. But no, it's the feel of the fact that it's kind of like Cador mixed with old circle stuff with the horror element of the Grimkin, but just to bind it all together as I sip from my Grimkin mug.
Whilst you're here, Mike, because I keep forgetting to chuck it into our little group chat that we have. What do you think of the Crix? Because I know they did the Gravedigger expansion kit for the upgrade kit to make them the old dogs. What did you think of the Raptors kit and the Malefactor?
So I have got them printed out. I have got them set up, and they are being painted as well. I say as we speak. Otherwise, I'd be doing it right now.
I'm actually painting them right this second.
Yeah. But they are on my painting desk. I will endeavour to get some pictures done either this evening or tomorrow morning when I try and get some more work done on them. But they actually have upper arm flesh. So it actually looks like they've just gone, cool, this guy's arm's big enough. Bam.
Oh, so the Malefactor is because I saw the Malefactor stuff, looks absolutely fantastic, but I wasn't overly keen on overly keen on the Raptor upgrades, because it looks more of what come out of the original box that you showed me, the Cadre box.
The heads from the Raptor box, some of them are okay, a couple of them I can give or take. The one weapon that we are excited about, Maz, for these things looks amazing from the 3D print.
Yeah.
Is that the Pen and Blaster?
No. The Light Spiker.
It's all about the spikers.
Spikers. Just spikers all day.
There's going to be a point where I run the stupid list with 6 chickens, all with spikers, double spikers, because it's fun.
And hopefully by the end of this month I will have 6 chickens.
It's going to be a terrible list, but
be fun. Yeah. It's not going to win, but it's going to be funny.
But I'm all about the mayhem.
Going back to the Old Umbrey stuff, from the pictures we've seen, from the teaser we had, as soon as that came up, I absolutely was sold. I wasn't sold on Cador very much for this release. but these guys just caught me, and just I want them.
They're nice. They're just
They have that right side of spooky.
yeah. They kind of remind me of like Witcher enemies and some of the monsters and things from that. That like proper creepy skull-faced thing in the woods.
It kind of reminded me of I don't know if you guys have ever played Bloodborne, but a lot of the enemies from that ilk, like a Souls game type thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm just looking at some of the screen grabs from it, and I mean you've got like the auxiliary expansion, just a werebear, because Russia.
Have we seen what's in each box then?
No, they've done they've taken like the from the core expansion, the Liegeman Wardens. They put some pictures up of those, and they just look tanky.
Oh, I haven't seen those yet.
I've just done a Google search though.
Oh.
Have to go find those.
Yeah,
if I can find them, and then Mike saying that I can edit in things to show.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show pictures if I can figure out how to do that. I am learning
There
how
are
to use
some
software.
amazing pictures from that keynote, and yeah, they just look really cool. And
I really
think
like the armor style of the warriors that they showed. They look really cool.
Like
Yes,
they've got like a scaly sort of effect to them, which I'm going to have so much fun painting.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to potentially paint some, not because I want to actually play the army, but
I'll let you paint some of mine if you want, buddy.
you'll allow it, yeah?
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it.
There's actually part of the commander start is a unit called Chosen of the Witch Hunt. The names are Dawn, Nightfall, and Day.
Yeah, I've just seen the base art for those, and they look fantastic.
Yeah.
I really want the Strix model, which looks like the super heavy for it.
It's a heavy. Looks like it's going to be a flying heavy.
Yes.
Then you got Bowden Lesnoy, who just he's a birdman.
I see. I like the staves. They looked really cool because I'm gonna assume that they're based on I can't remember the mythos is for them. It's gonna annoy me now. Sorry, but the models look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited for this, and I think when it gets closer to the release and we get more information, we'll probably end up doing a deep dive on this.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Definitely.
Other than just fanboying over the announcement that's been done for a bit.
Yeah, once we start seeing the rules for them, we'll have a look and see what we think.
Yo, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm just happy to paint the Amonist.
Yeah.
We butchered how he's actually said, but
there's some nice models coming, so let's.
Absolutely.
It'll be suitably spooky rules-wise as well. So. You know what we're going to
There's
see?
the
Lots of. I'm assuming everything's going to have Pathfinder and whatnot.
Probably.
a lot of stealth rules.
Be interesting. And then that will be followed by some more trolls. The Kithgard trolls.
Yeah, Robin, you can keep the trolls, buddy.
No, I see. I like Brinebloods. Pirates, great.
It's not the troll thing. We haven't seen a lot of the trolls yet, have we?
We've not seen a lot of it, but I mean, there is a lovely image that I've just seen of just troll with cannon on back.
Yeah, with the other smaller troll firing it.
With the little guy just.
I mean, that's pretty much the same as the last.
And it looks like it's an old Cadoran mortar from one of the jacks.
Yeah. They they look pretty cool. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with them. We don't really have a lot of information about those guys at the moment, though.
Yeah, I think they are the ones that go along and just steal the old tech.
Yeah, well, they're like the remnants of the Troll Bloods of old, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what those going on. But yeah, not a lot of info, but we'll see. We'll see. And then even less info. The dude at the end of the
little
keynote,
dude, just
I don't think he's that little. I think that's on at least a 40mm base.
probably.
That is.
He is probably a chonky lad, but
that gets me a bit more excited about Orgoth. When they were like, "Oh, Orgoth are coming back," I was like, "Cool." I've played Warmachine and loved the Iron Kingdom since like the Witchfire trilogy. I've got in my head what the Orgoth are going to look like, and then they look nothing like that. And I was like, "Oh, all right."
nothing like the image, the art they've had for a while. Just
So, I mean, don't get me wrong, the Orgoth model's cool. I like them in that Siege Terrastic. That's freaking awesome.
yeah.
And the Cadra, I went out and acquired Oriax because I just needed to paint that model, and then promptly added him to my pile of potential and never painted him. But
In fact, you can Magnus the traitor, so
yeah. But yeah, the guy they spoiled at the end, that's an exciting looking model. I like that.
That's very exciting.
I wonder if we're finally going to see a model for Dreads, as they were original 3.5 D&D monsters that the Orgoth left to guard treasure. So maybe we'll see actual models for those.
I mean, you never know, because they like telling us stuff, then going, but that was a misdirect. Here, have this thing instead.
We'll see. I mean, that's what we're month 2 of Gravedigger releases.
yeah, I wasn't expecting Gravediggers to be released this early on into Warmachine now. So
Yeah,
I mean, with the starter set, like with Alistair and the Black 13th being Gravediggers, it's just it was going to happen soon.
Yeah.
I'm still glad I picked up that box set when I did. I've convinced somebody from work that I do commission work for them if they get these scamming limit money. So it seems to work.
It's good. It's a nice box set. I keep being tempted to pick it up. Not that I have Cador or Signar, but
The Razor out for Cador is absolutely fantastic. I love that model.
Well, I've got someone who wants to pick it up and split it because he wants the Cador. I'm like, yes. And Alistair Kane is my boy.
All I will also say is just warn your friend when they go to put on those tiny axes on the back of the Warcaster to paint them separately and not do what I did and then have to struggle and use a super fine sable brush to try and paint around it.
It's been the one challenge of 3D printed models is you're not having to assemble them, therefore accessing some parts of the model is quite terrifying.
I had that with the Furies.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That was quite
entertaining. Inside of those minis were silly. And I'm glad I don't have to do it again because they're character unit.
I'm looking forward to having a play around with the STL files for monstrosities as well for the Surflex, so I can have a few different poses and things.
Yeah.
Because it's really appropriate to go out and learn how to use 3D rendering software to actually go and change the STL, so I can, at the very least, I can reverse it. I can mirror it quite easily.
That's it. Like mirroring.
Easy to learn.
Yeah. Well,
Mate,
I'm learning editing software.
Do it a few times with like other STLs that I've had to play around with bits, and yeah, it's pretty simple. Just copy and mirror.
I've got a professional sculptor that I send things to, and I'm like, "Can you sort this out for me?"
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't all have a professional sculptor on hand, but
that's what you need. This is a handy little chap. I say little, he's actually quite large, but But yeah, whenever this is the problem. This is why I've not learned anything. I promised myself I was gonna learn it all, and then every time I go to do it, I'm like, oh, just you could do it much better. Trials and tribulations.
Yes, very much indeed.
Yeah.
So, Mike, what are you taking to Welsh?
So for me, for Welsh, I believe I've settled on crits because that's what I've got. But I will be probably going with Decafus and Mortenebra because I feel like Mortenebra for me will probably be the better of the Jack casters.
Yeah.
And I want a list that will do both like infantry and jacks really well. And like my Decafus list, as you've seen, is pretty. It hits.
It's pretty good.
And how about you, Maz?
I'm going to subject you all to some mayhem in the form of dark operations. Now I can get more wreckers. I'm just going to see how many I can put on the field and see how that works.
All of them.
I mean,
I'm just glad that there's
12.
a bar.
I think that's where the list is at the moment. It's 12 wreckers
At
and
the bar?
2 subduers. Just all of them.
Everything. Just everything all the time.
If it's not a monstrosity, what's the point?
Yeah, that's it.
I did actually get messed up the other day. I played my Cephalax for the first time in Mark 4, and it got to turn 2, and I went to cast Psychosurgery with Thexus, and I was like, oh, he doesn't have that anymore. Oh, well, this changes.
But no, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone that like I've played there before again because it's such a wonderful crowd.
I haven't been to Welsh Masters before, and the last Masters tournament I played was at the SmogCon that they announced Grimkin, so I'm a little bit out of high-end play.
But I will also add at this point of the episode that I will be getting the tokens from Monstrous Makings because I've seen them.
Those tokens are pretty cool.
I want them.
Need to get some proper tokens for Dusk and stop using Crix ones.
I should probably do the same for my Marauders. There we go.
Yeah, no. He's a absolutely wonderful guy, and I'm pretty sure like he's not a sponsor of the podcast whatsoever. Yet, maybe.
We have ways.
Hey, all we have to do is ask, and maybe stuff happens. But no, he's a great guy. I've dealt with him before, and yeah.
Made it sound like you roughed him up. Dealt with him.
I reckon it's a ham shandy in the alley, but
No, that's only you, Robin.
oh, okay. I'm that lucky.
So, cool. Alright, team. Well, let's finish up there before you two get into something that's not appropriate.
People have seen worse on the internet.
Yeah, every day.
Doesn't mean we need to put it out there.
I think what I'm putting out there's pretty tame these days, but
Yeah.
We'll be back at some point soon. Probably
Fantastic.
talking Brine Bloods. Doing
that's
a bit
perfect for me. Just remember, do not shoot any dirigibles out of the sky. They mean you no harm
Kill the dirigibles. Got
Always
until they're in explosive range.
we learned in World War One, kill the dirigibles. Just shoot them every time.
I don't want to see any Hindenburgs at all.
Alright, everyone. Catch you next time.
See you later.
Later.